Hey, Lens. Hi, hello. I'm really hoping that my sound is going to be okay on this particular video. I apologize for the square screen around my face. I'm hoping that the sound quality this time is going to be a bit better. On my last stream, the sound was all scratchy, and I'm hoping that this is going to be better. But we will see. Okay, so today I'm yet to find out. I'm trying to get my laptop and everything set up. There we go. Oh, the sound is still scratchy, isn't it? Right, so yeah, the sound is still scratchy. I apologize for that, folks. I'm not entirely sure how to fix this. Whether or not it's because it's surely or I can do time being. I'm really hoping that this is going to be what the audio is very glitchy. I know. How's the audio now? Is the audio? I've changed over. I'm actually going to. I'm trying to adjust this. Take it so that it's a bit less glitchy. I can't seem to find out it's better. Okay, I will do my very best. I think it's because my laptop is struggling in terms of going through the website, and I'm really trying to figure out how I can actually, I'm trying to remove the chat so I can close this bit. Right, I'm really hoping that might be a little bit better. Okay, so I think whenever I move my screen, the laptop seems to struggle, so I'm going to try and move the screen as little as possible. I'm just sending a message on the chat just to make sure you guys can hear me. I can't hear anything that Mr. Dunkin is saying. Oh, right. Can you not hear anything at all? Is it because your sound is anyone else not being able to hear me? We are doing titration methods today. Titration method. And I'm going to show you an exam question. Oh, hang on. His audio is really loud. Hang on a second. I've got another idea. Oh, right. My laptop has just started to flicker. I'm going to try doing that. I'm really hoping this is going to be okay. I can hear Mr. Dunkin, but there is some glitchy thing. Yeah, it's not clear. Yes, it's better. I'm really hoping that this is going to improve his time. I think whenever I write on my screen, it's going to become glitchy, and I apologize for that. What I think it's doing is it's struggling bandwidth-wise. I think that's what's causing it. I will do my very best, guys, to kind of write and talk separately. My laptop is also starting to shake, which is a really sad thing, but it is. Right, we will see how we get on. Let's see how we do. Okay, folks, so we're doing titration methods, learning objectives for today. So we're going to be doing number one. I want to recap titration practical, and I'm going to give you the second one is I'm going to give you the 6-mark answer. The 6-mark answer to the question of describe for the practical, for the titration practical itself. It is a 6-mark question. I'm going to be giving you the bullet points for it. I'm going to follow that up with having a look at some exam-style questions, questions from exams, to hopefully kind of see how they're related and what they're doing, and these clever subtleties that they have from year to year in order to hopefully get you guys to see that, in fact, my method, my 6-mark answer, can pretty much be delivered every time. That's what I'm hoping to. And again, I do, please do give me a heads up on how the sound is coping. I'm hoping that it's going to improve as time goes on. But I'm really hoping, guys, can you still hear me? I'm really hoping you can. It depends which microphone is being used by my software. We will see how we go. Okay. So first thing, I just want to remind you guys of titration function. A titration is a practical. You can keep notes on this. Please let me know if it's pretty bad. I can barely hear you. Yeah, what's happened here, guys, is I've had to change to using a website to transmit my transmitting my feed, and it's really struggling on being able to cope with it. It's really struggling. I'll tilt it up. The problem is I think my laptop's not going to manage this very well. It's going to default, which is very frustrating. Okay, practical 2. Find the concentration of an unknown. We know this. We did this in our notes the other day in a lesson, of an unknown acid or alkali. Okay, so we then described, and we had a look at a video of a guy doing it. And what I want to do is, I just want to lay out for you guys. Ansh says it's fine now. We will see how we get on. So, method. So, in that video, and I'm half tempted to actually reference the video, but I don't think I probably should. I'm going to bring up, I'm wondering whether you guys can see my screen shaking. My screen seems to have decided, and whenever I touch the screen, it kind of seems to stop. Right, steps in the titration. So here are the steps that the guy followed during the process of his titration. He gathered all of his equipment. Now, that mark can be GCSE. It can be. They can ask you to, what they will often do, though, most commonly, is they will give you a list of equipment and ask you what's missing. The most common missing piece of equipment is the white tile. And I'm going to ask you just to, let's just list our equipment that we need, and we'll put down bullet points for each one of these. So number 1, we have a burette. This is our main piece of apparatus. They love, by the way, the questions for burettes are many. They love showing you a picture, and they will say, here's a picture of a piece of equipment, name it. So a burette measures variable volumes. Variable vols. I'm just going to put variable vols. And I'm going to put in brackets its units, centimeters cubed. We then had a graduated pipette. I'm just going to put a G pipette for now. I think you guys have already got it in your notes, so it's fine. This is a fixed volume. Fixed vol, brackets, centimeters cubed. Right, what we also had was a pipette filler. Now, we didn't mention this, pipette filler. We didn't mention this in our lesson in the library. I'm really hoping you're going to be able to hear me. Pipette filler. We didn't mention this in the library, but it's nice to talk about it, and that there are actually different types of pipette fillers as well. There's a syringe filler and a bulb filler, but again, it's being able to recognize diagrams of these. And again, I'm going to come back to exam questions at the end. After the pipette filler, we've got our indicator. We've also got our conical flask. Now, we didn't actually conical flask. We didn't talk about this, but it was in the video. And of course, again, the diagram is very obvious for people when they see it. But they do love to ask what its function is and why the shape. We'll come again with exam questions near the end. So, in terms of the method-wise, I want to give you a 6-mark method. And I want to show you that this method that I have here, white tile, the most commonly forgotten. Let's add white tile to this. And this one I'm going to immediately mention. The white tile has one function, and that is to allow colour change. To allow colour change to be seen. Colour change to be seen more easily. That's its key for that. More easily. Just adjusting my laptop. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stop the screen shaking and turn down the power of this laptop as well, because I think it's going to heat it, which is why it's shaking away. So, I think about that. Okay, so method. I want to go back to method over here. So these are the steps. Gather equipment, and as I said, most of the time that won't be a point in the method. That won't actually be a point in the method. What they will usually do is give you the equipment and ask you either to spot what's missing, hence the white tile, or they will just simply provide you with a set of equipment diagrams that you'll be expected to identify which one's which. It then says rinse the burette with the standard solution, the known. So what I'm going to actually tell you is that this again is not required for GCSE. This is a rinse the pipette with the known, not needed. You're going to see it in the questions in a minute. Right. So this one now comes in at GCSE. So the first thing, so we can do method. 6 marks. So point number 1. Fill. Move the screen as little as possible. Fill burette. Fill burette with acid or alkali. I'm just going to capitalize the whole word. Acid or alkali. I'll explain why you can have either, but it's to fill the burette is step number 1. Now, if you notice on my steps over here, fill is one of the ones for GCSE. Then you have remove funnel and open tap to clear any air. This is not GCSE. Not needed. But I am going to put a clause on one of them, which is the open tap to clear bubble. That one has been on just once. I think the mic is picking up the sound of the fan from the computer. Oh. That is possible, I guess. Interesting. Maybe, Tom. I'm not entirely sure how I can fix it at this point. All I have to kind of do is I think actually I need to find a different piece of software rather than this one that I'm using. I think I'm going to have to ditch the one I'm using. The next step is clamp burette, not needed for GCSE. What that means is the marks of GCSE come mainly from the next 2 steps. It was fine for a second. I know, I think what's happening here, my laptop is getting worse and worse on this. I think what's happening is every time I move it, it's either struggling with a bandwidth. Maybe if you have headphones with the mic, that might work better. Julian, you're absolutely right. It might work better. I don't have a headphone mic. That's frustrating. Okay. So let's now go. Okay, let's go down to here. Right. So the next one, using a pipette, transfer 25 of unknown. This is GCSE. Let's put it into our notes. Step number 2. Fill. Using a pipette, using a graduated pipette, add 25 centimeters cubed. Notice the fixed volume. That's a mark at GCSE on its own. Yeah. Add 25 centimeters cubed of. I'm going to put acid or basic, acid or alkali again. And of course, I hope you all realise that if in the first step you used an acid, the next step would be an alkali, or vice versa. So, using a graduated pipette, add 25 centimeters of acid or alkali to a conical flask. You have to use a conical flask. Now, the reason for that, I'm going to do a little spin off here. Again, try and move the laptop as little as possible. Shape of conical non-nimble with, I'm going to put non-nimble with no spin. Okay, so it's nice that that question comes up a lot. Next, now that we've added, so let's just draw what we've done. We've so far got our beautiful burette with the top bottom, and we have filled it. We've added in our acid, or I'm going to use an acid in this case, and we have filled it up to the top, and it will read 0. Isn't that funny? It will read 0 on the scale, and then the scale goes down, and a burette, by the way, holds 50. The bottom reading is 50. What have we also done? We have also taken a conical flask, and we have added, terrible effort at drawing a conical flask, and we have added 25 centimeters cubed of alkali in this case, because I put acid in the burette, and we did that using a pipette. Let's go pipette, nice to see a pipette. Weird body. There we go. Using a pipette and a pipette filler. There we go. So using a pipette, this is our G pipette, our graduated pipette, and this is our pipette filler. And I have added 25 centimeters cubed. Right. Next, third bullet point. We now need to add 3 drops. Now that is actually quite important. 3 drops of indicator. Now at this point, I would always recommend you naming the indicator you're going to add. It's good routine, and we all know here, as of our lesson in the library, the one we're probably going to do is phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein. Unless there's a weak base, a weak alkali, in which case we're switching to methyl orange. But most of the time we'll be using phenolphthalein. Notice the 3 drops. I'm going to then spin off the second question off here. By the way, my laptop is currently having a seizure. It is shaking like crazy. It's overheating. Spin off question 3 drops. So the question would be, why 3 drops? Why 3 drops? And the answer is that more indicator will affect titration value. And the reason, if anybody's curious, is because an indicator itself is an acid or base. That's just so you know why indicator is acid stroke base itself. So it'll affect the value. So we add as little as possible. This is why we like them to be super bright. Right, good. So, how do you know if the solution is neutralized? My laptop is actually freaking out now, folks. Sorry. It's interesting that you guys can't see this. It means it's purely hardware, which is a bad thing for me. It means that my laptop is damaged. Okay, so how do you know if it's neutralized? Right, you know because the indicator is going to change color, and I'll talk to you about this in a second. So, add 3 drops of indicator. Let's look at how many marks we've gained so far. We have gained fill the burette with acid or with a burette. Yeah, fill with acid or alkali. Then, using a graduated pipette, use 25. Add 3 drops of indicator. We've got 2 more marks to gain. Right. Now what we're going to do is add acid or alkali, add acid / alkali to conical flask. Until permanent colour change. Until, I'm actually going to say near. Add acetyl alkali. I want to say quickly here, folks, because what's actually happening is you're going to add it really quickly at the beginning until you're close, and then you're going to drop right at the end. So add acid to conical flask. And in fact, what we can do is we can add those together to conical flask. Dropwise, that's 2 marks, by the way. Dropwise, near endpoint, and this is your question, actually, Anch, near endpoint, and the word endpoint, we can add as, again, another spin-off question. Endpoint is permanent colour change. So we know that we're going to add the acid from the burette to the conical flask. We're going to add it, and then we're going to slow down near the permanent colour change, dropwise near endpoint, and then the 6th mark is record volume on burette. Record volume on burette at start, and that's your method. Yes, it will turn pink. So what's happening is very straightforward. If we make a choice, here's our burette, and we're going to fill it with a colourless acid. I'm going to have a conical flask, which has an alkaline 25 centimeters cubed of alcohol. We now add phenolphthalein, and if you add phenolphthalein, here's what it does. It goes pink, because we know that all alkalis are either pink or purple, because we're using phenolphthalein and universal movement time. What's going to happen is we're now going to add this acid to it. Now as time goes by, you're going to add it really quick at the beginning. You're going to add it really quick at the beginning until it's almost gone. It's almost gone, it fades. And then you're going to do it dropwise at the end point until it goes completely colour. You see our permanent colour change. So our permanent colour change here being pink to gold. But so I have another question. I thought it will only turn pink from pH 8. So how do you know that it is pH 7? Right, okay guys. I love the fact that you guys have done like additional research here. And I'm just gonna let you know that you do not need this for GCSE. You don't need it for GCSE. If you plot the graph, my laptop is literally a full of water, and I can't seem to stop that. It's shaking like crazy. If you plot the graph of, if we have vol of acid against pH, here's what happens. We of course have an alkali at the beginning, so we're at pH 14 at the beginning, and we're going to add alkali slowly until we get to 50. And here's what happens in the graph. As you add it, the graph slopes down very slowly until suddenly it has a huge drop and it becomes completely vertical. Right. So the neutralization point of that acid is here. This is the point of neutralization. We're nearing, technically, if you want to know the true point, is here. That is true pH 7. True neutral. However, this section of the graph here is completely vertical. What that means is, even though our indicator changes color here, that's the changeover for phenolphthalein. What that means is, there is no difference in volume. Because this is vertical, there is no difference in volume between true 7 and the color change point of the indicator. Now you do not need that for GCSE. You do not need it. All I need you guys to know is this method. You just have to learn it. Literally learn. I'm sorry guys, just gotta flat out learn this one. And just to show you why, is because they're going to give you this in questions. So let's have a quick look and see if I can find my questions. This is May 2017. It says, describe how the apparatus, how to use the apparatus to find the volume of sulfuric acid needed to neutralize sodium hydroxide. Name the apparatus, assume the apparatus is clean, it does not need rinsing. Right. So you can see they've already given you the burette, they've already put the pipette. This is a 4-mark question. I'm going to take a screenshot of this if I can. My laptop screen is just hilarious. My poor little Surface Pro is not working well with this. It's a 4-mark question. So we need to realise which bits they've done. And the answer is they've already filled the burette for us. They've already put the 25mm in with the graduated pipette. We just now need to use the rest of it to say, so we're going to say add sulfuric acid, two conical flats, quickly at first. I like saying this, it makes it, I prefer quickly at first, and dropwise, that's way better, I prefer that sentence. Dropwise near endpoint. Stop at permanent. Oh, we've gone in a particular direction. Oh, look, they've also used methyl orange. Oh, they've used methyl orange here, folks. They shouldn't have done it. They don't need to, but they have. So methyl orange is red in acid. Red in acid, but it is yellow in alcohol. So we're going to say near endpoint, stop, and so what would it have been down here? It was yellow to begin with. We're going to add it, and we're going to stop when red colour. By the way, it's called methyl orange because we meant to stop at orange because it's in between the yellow and the red, but it doesn't actually matter. Stop when red colour is. Next, record volume of H2SO4 at start and end. And that's it. 4 marks. So the 4 marks are coming from quickly at first, drop by drop at endpoint, stop and permanent colour change, and measuring them at the start and the end. So, unfortunately, because my laptop is having such issues today, it's really, unfortunately, it's making it almost impossible. It's making it almost impossible for me to work on it, sadly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end. It's only 12, but I will end the lesson there, because I think at this point. So all I'm going to actually ask you to do today, folks, is make sure that you've got those bullet points in your notes. Do some learning of them. What I will do is I will put some exam-style questions for titrations. I'm going to open up my laptop, even though my laptop is becoming completely unusable, which is very good. Hey, there we go. Right, guys, I'm going to leave us there for today. But I've given you those bullet points. I would like you to learn them. We've even looked at an exam-style question. Do the best you can. Can you go through this in the lesson as well? A little confused. Yes, of course I can. I realise that the audio is not great. I need to fix all of these issues that I've got with my streaming. But guys, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Take care, guys.